Alright guys, today's project I'm going to be working on is the Polaris Sportsman 570. I've been having some issues with it keeping the battery charged, and I've determined it to be that the rectifier needs replaced. So in this video I'm going to be showing you guys how to replace it, where it's located, and I'll have a link in the description below to where you could purchase one through my Amazon store. So with that, we'll get into the video. These are the tools I ended up using. A pair of side dikes, a 3/8 ratchet with 3/8 socket, impact with the T25, some crimpers, strippers, razor blade, big flathead screwdriver, and my voltmeter, and this little 10mm wrench. And that's all I use to get this job done on replacing the rectifier. So I've already got my stuff removed that I need to for clarity, but basically you'll take off your front rack, which is you loosen these two here, undo the cables on the plastic. You don't have to pull these out, you just loosen them. You can pull it and the whole rack will come off. And then down here there's two T25s right there, and then two down here. You'll just remove them and this front piece will come off. And then your rectifier will be held on right here with these two 3/8 bolts, and this is what we're looking at replacing here. So it has a set of wires that go up to right here, and this cover right there you'll remove, and it's 2 bolts there and 2 there. And then you're looking at these wires right here come up and go to this post, a negative, and then this other wire right here comes up and goes to this positive post. So we're going to remove both of those, and then I'll show you guys what to do next. I'm going to remove mine real quick. So once you get these 2 wires undone, just leave them sitting right there, and be careful if you don't unhook your battery first. Don't let these touch on anything. So I haven't unhooked my battery yet, but I just got them sitting there. So the next thing I'm gonna do is come down here, and you're gonna move your coolant recovery bottle reservoir. Kind of just tuck it up there out of the way. It removes the 2 T25s here, and then I'm gonna get a screwdriver and get the battery cables off. So once you get your battery cables unhooked, you're gonna come down here to this clip here. It's got these yellow wires coming to it, and you're gonna disconnect it. So once you get it connected, it's just gonna be a simple lift tab, and then work that end off. Then get you a flathead screwdriver, because it's got this piece holding it on. You're just gonna wanna stick under there and pry it off. And now we're gonna work on working this harness out so we can get this part out. There'll be a zip tie right here holding these on. Around this eyelet you'll have to cut off. So now I'm gonna work on getting fishing these lines out of here. All right, so here's the new one. This conduit wasn't quite as long as the factory one, so all I did was cut some off and splice it on to make it go all the way to the end. And on this plug, it came in the mail with this little clip part that holds it, broke off, so I'm taking the original one and I'm just gonna slide it on right here. So I went ahead and set this up and plugged it in, hooked up the battery. I'm gonna make sure it's working right before I tuck all the wires in. So before, when I would check this, it would be just show whatever the battery voltage is, and it's already low. So now I'm gonna start it up because before this would never change. So I'm gonna start it up and we'll see if it's charging. See how it's working. It's up to 14. It's going up, you can see. So the way to check this, and the reason I knew I had a problem, was I'd drive around and the battery would say low. So I thought originally the battery may be going bad, but I kept putting it on the trickle charger and it'd fully charge up, and I could drive it around. It would stay charged for maybe 10-15 minutes, and then I'd get the display up here saying low battery with like 10.8 volts. So I took this off, hooked up my voltmeter right here, and I was only getting like 10 volts. It was reading the same voltage as the battery when this thing was running. So I knew that was the stator that was having, or not the stator, but the rectifier that was causing the issue. So now you can see we clearly got it fixed, so I'm gonna wire this thing up. So this Amazon edition of this eyelet is way too big. So I gotta cut this off and put a smaller one on before I put it on there. And then I'll run all the new wires. All right, so I cut that eyelet off, crimped on a new one, put some heat shrink on it. That one should be good. This one's a little big, but I'm gonna leave it because it still fits on there. But this other one, it was just way too big. I don't even see where it went. But anyway, all right, so now I'm gonna route all these wires in there and start putting them back together. All right, I got all my wires ran back up here. Make sure you put your zip tie on. And I got the coolant bottle and everything tucked back up. Got the battery cables tightened back down. Got that new plug plugged in right there. Battery straps on. Rectifier's tightened down. Make sure you put this backing plate that came off the old one on there. And I got my terminals locked down. Make sure you put both of the little nuts on. Put this trim piece back on, both bolts there. I'm gonna put that cover back on. So we got everything buttoned back up. It's good to go. All right, there we go. That's pretty much gonna wrap it up for this. I've made this little short video, so if you need to replace your rectifier on your four-wheeler, this ought to help you out if you're trying to figure out what the problem is or what's going on with it. So anyway, I hope this video helped you out. If it did, make sure you hit that like button. Don't forget to check out the links in the description, and I'll see you guys on the next one.